All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is the Fountain of Israel's Bible Studies program. And as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the holy Sabbath day. Now with that, I want to go ahead and introduce a new series that I have for you. And before I do that, let me go ahead and invite you all to like, share, subscribe, smash that notification bell. Check the comment sections down below. Go ahead and put your questions, anything that you guys have to say. Just go ahead and put that down in the comment section below. I love the interaction between us, one another, and we will proceed forward with that. Also, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the only way this message is going to get out. Now, this particular series, I'm calling it High Value Hebrew. Now, this is really coming from a lesson I did like a year ago, Show Thyself a Man is really a part of that. But here's the thing. I want to do this series, a High Value Hebrew. Now here's some of the things that over the past year I've been kind of listening to and getting a little bit of feedback on. And some people feel like, actually, there was one particular young lady felt like, okay, why would, a Hebrew teacher, why would he teach things that are, like red pill or similar to what like Kevin Samuels was saying and stuff like that. So let me just go ahead and address, the elephant in the room. Because as soon as you saw the title or the thumbnail and it says, High Value Hebrew, okay, is that like High Value Man and all that other stuff? Okay. What I want to, a couple of things I want to address. This whole idea with the Kevin Samuels and all that. Yes, I've seen Kevin Samuels. I've seen this material, things like that. Yes, I've seen all that. But what I want to address is that put the man aside, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the guy aside. Okay, we know he's passed on. Put him aside, and let's look at some of the things that he was talking about. Right. Here's the thing: when we're talking about parenting, we're talking about relationships and marriage, divorce statistics, child support, alimony, all these type of things, right? Just those things. Does it not affect our community? Does it not affect our marriages, our relationship, the parents, the children, stuff like that? When we talk about things like that, we be talking about deleting children, all these topics that are out there, what people call the manosphere or red pill and things like that, it affects our community as well. So what we need to do is we need to learn how to navigate the world, the current world we live in, because this is the world that we live in. Oh, it would be nice and wonderful if we all lived in a community and everybody was Hebrew Israelite and everybody was following Torah and everybody was worshiping the Messiah. But is that the world that we live in? Do you happen to be in a community? Now, some of you guys out there may be in a community, which is fine. That's great. But we live in a fallen world. So all the things that are out there, all the things that, may not make some of the males look good, some of the things out there that may not make some of the sisters look good. Well, you have to understand there's always this distinction, okay? There are, as they say in our society, there are the Pookie and Ray Rays out there, but there are some good, hardworking Hebrew men. Men in general, and also some Hebrew men. There are some modern women, which is also a part of this series, okay? Dealing with modern women and wicked women and things like that. But there's a distinction. There are traditional women, there's traditional Hebrew women, they have faith about them, and then there are modern wicked women. There's a distinction, okay? So if anybody had their feelings hurt or anything like that, that is on you. That's on you. If you cannot see the distinction, it's not me being, defensive or anything like that. No, I'm just going to give it to you from the scriptures, right? I'm just going to give it to you from the scriptures. All right. So this whole idea of red pill. My next question is the Bible red pill? Is the Bible patriarchal? I'm sure we can agree with that, right? See, this is just a different lens that many people have not just looked through. They never looked at it from this perspective, right? The Bible is definitely patriarchal. The Bible is traditional, is it not? Does the Bible support traditional gender roles? Yes. Is the man the head of the family, and the head of the wife, head of the family, head of his children? Yes. Should a man provide for his home? He should be the breadwinner, right? All this sounds traditional, does it not? Does not the Bible says, husband loves your wives and treat them as the weaker vessel and all that. All this. This is like, chivalry. Why give them preferential treatment? See, all this is traditional. So I'm going to need the naysayers to calm that down a little bit and just absorb what the scripture is trying to tell us. Because we do know that this whole modern idea is not working. Modern relationships is not working. So yeah, you're going to hear me spout out some facts, some data and statistics. But the Bible was written long before KS, long before this idea of red pill, long before passport bros, long before manosphere. It's patriarchal. So all this was already, male nature, female nature was laid out long before the manosphere. So we have to mature ourselves and mature our thinking. Sure, a lot of people want some of the information that's put forth to be presented in a more palatable way. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but all I can say is this. One of the things I want to come out as part of this particular series, is High Value Hebrew series, is how men become men and leaders. It's the idea of this particular series, okay? This is who this is for. This is what this series is about. It should be 3 parts. This is what this series is about. Men, manhood. Born a male, becoming a man, how we become men. Starts there. Towards the back end, I'll be dealing with the women, the sisters. I'll deal with that, the sisters. And it's broken up in 3 sections. Increase your value, pursue your purpose, and protect your seed, which is mate selection, among other things. So we're going to look at some of these things, and we're going to go through the scriptures. We're going to see what it says. We're going to look behind words. I may throw out some facts, data, and statistics, things like that. Obviously, you can go and research these things yourself. I'll tell you some sources right before I even say anything, okay? CDC, blackdemographics.com. There's a couple of college research papers that are out there. There's a lot out there. These things you can go, Google it. That's it. That's where I got it from, okay? The sources. So you can look at that. Even that Oprah, when she came out and she was saying that, the narrative about black fathers is not true. The CDC said that the black father is actually the most involved parent of all the other races of men. That the black man is the most involved. Okay? So we have all these different sources, things like that. You guys watch social media. Let's quit pretending like we don't. Let's quit pretending that we don't see these things that are right before our eyes. In fact, some of this stuff you actually need to know, because that's the only way you're going to be able to navigate in this world. It's the only way. To avoid wickedness, you got to know what wickedness looks like. To avoid evil, you got to know what evil looks like. So let's go ahead and deal with this. Now this one, the first part, this particular lesson, this first part here, we're going to be dealing with manhood and increasing your value, right? Increasing your value. Why? Because we need to be at a particular station in life. At a particular level. Oh, it's about being rich. No, it's not about being rich, but it's about having resources. Rich can be relative. Okay? I'm not using an IRS definition. Okay? Rich can be relative. You can be just content and happy making $75,000 a year American. You can be rich, content, happy making $50,000. I don't know. That's up to you. But you got to get up to a level to where you can function at your best capacity, whatever that is. I don't know what it is for you personally, but whatever that is. Now, the higher that income, what you're going to realize is the more your options when it's time for a mate selection. You get better options. That's just how it is. And obviously, when we're looking for righteous sisters, and again, I'm dealing with that in the last lesson, when we're trying to look for righteous sisters, and there's certain things, certain criteria, certain things you got to look for, because it's a needle in a haystack kind of thing, particularly in the West, a needle in a haystack situation. But we'll get to that. Now, again, we're talking about showing out thyself a man. I'm going to tell you exactly where I got it from, which is in 1 Kings. We're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 2. Verse 2, and I'm going to come back to this here in a second. But this is when David was on his deathbed. And he says, and David says to Solomon, and I'll be reading from the King James for this series, I go the way of all the earth, and be thou strong. We're going to look up that too. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. And then and I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to this spot as well. He said, be thou strong and show thyself a man. Okay, so let's go ahead and look up strong real quick. I'm gonna go over to my Strong's real quick, and we are in 1 Kings 2, chapter 2, verse 2. Let's look up strong. Okay, strong is kazak, to strengthen, to prevail, to harden, to be strong, become strong, be courageous, be firm, grow firm, be resolute. Okay, be strong, grow strong, prevail, fast, to press, be urgent. Okay, to make strong, to restore to strength, to give strength, all this, to be encouraged, to sustain. I'm looking at all of this in the lexicon, right? To make strong, to display strength. Okay, to have or to keep, to hold, retain, hold up, sustain, to strengthen oneself. Okay, to seize, be strong, courageous, strengthen. Okay, so you guys get that. Conquer in the Strong's definition. To conquer, be established, fasten, force, fortify, make hard. Okay, play the man, men, become, repair. Okay, seize, strengthen, all of that. Self valiantly, behave self valiantly, withstand. Okay, so I wanted to get that way you guys have a great idea of what we mean. Be strong as men. Okay, I'm addressing the men right now. That's our job, to be strong. You're working hard, working out, building yourself. Be strong. Your family's gonna need that. Be masculine, be strong. Your family is going to need that. You are also the protector. Be strong, be capable. I'm not saying, you got to look like some bodybuilder. You got to look like old school Joe Weider, or got to look like Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or The Rock. You got to, not everyone has those genetics, but you can be strong in your frame, and you can be capable fighting, knowing how to fight, learning how to defend yourself, learning how to use weapons, things like that. Be strong. Be a man. Show thyself a man. This is what we need today, because there's an attack on masculinity. Yes? So be a man. Let's continue. We're going to go on over to Job. Go to Job 38. Job 38. And I'm just going to actually only want one verse, verse 3. He says, what did Most High say to Job? He said, gird up now thy loins like a man. That's really the part that I want. For I've demanded of thee, and answer thou. Okay, so cover yourself up, gird yourself up like a man. Look at the authority Most High said. Stand up. Gird yourself up like a man. Stand like a man. Because I have some questions for you. Like a man. This is what I'm saying to all of you guys. So, gentlemen, if you have sons, get them on this lesson. Because this lesson, these 3 lessons, is all about being a man. Showing thyself a man. This is what we're talking about in this. And like I said before, we're going to cover 3 areas. Increase your value, pursue your purpose, and protect your seed. This is what we're going to be talking about, these 3 lessons here. Let's get it. 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy. Second Timothy, and it's going to be chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. He hasn't given us a spirit of fear. Let's look at something, shall we? Okay, so since he has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, let's look at that. Let's see, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 2. And we are going to look at, okay, what is that? 2 Timothy chapter... verse 7, not verse 2, verse 7. So, okay, let's look at power. Let's look at power real quick. I don't want anyone to think, making something up, right? Power. Let's look at power. Okay? Dunamis. Okay, that's the Greek word. Okay? Dunamis. Power. Strength, power, ability, inherent power. Power residing in a thing by virtue or by its nature, or which a person or thing exerts and puts forth. Power for performing miracles, right? That's a form of power. Moral power and excellence of soul. The power of influence which belong to riches and wealth. Power and resources arising from numbers. So when you have your network of brothers, that is power. Gentlemen, pay attention, okay? Power consisting in or resting upon armies and forces or hosts. Power, the strong. That was the lexicon. The Strongs. Specifically like miraculous power, right? Like miracles and stuff, right? Ability, abundance, meaning might, okay? Strength, violence, mighty, wonderful work. That's what the Bible says, what power, okay? That's what power is right there. God given us this idea of power. I just gave you the definition. So you can't say, oh, I'm just making something up. And I gave you all of them. So pick one. We have to be men. This is what it means to be men of Yah, high value Hebrew, right? I'm not talking about just a financial component. That's why I said we're going to talk about a lot of things. Financial is only a part of what? Your moral character, that. Following Yah, that all that's a part of it. That's the moral or ethical part of being high value, not just money. But some people walk away and think that, oh, that's all it. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're going to keep going. We're going to go over to Sirach, because one of the things I want all of us to understand, gentlemen, tribulation is here for a reason. You understand? It is here for a reason. I'm going to go over to the Apocrypha. I'm going to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Sirach, excuse me, chapter 2. And I'm going to read 4 and 5. Chapter 2, verse 4 and 5 in the Sirach, in the Apocrypha, it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Things are going to happen to us, okay? I just wanted to pause to note, okay? So let's look at this. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Gentlemen, pause to note. Gentlemen, we're going to go through something as men. We can't afford to live life on easy mode. Okay, the Messiah said in this life there will be tribulation. We can't. This is how we are created. Males are born, men are made. So we're going to go through something. There's going to be a struggle, but that's what creates us. That's what forges us in adversity. This is how we become more resilient. Mentally and emotionally. Hey, we go to the gym, we work out, go run, all that. That's physically. We overcome and become more resilient physically. Well, we eat, nutrition, things like that. We become more resilient physically. But the adversities in life, the trials and tribulations in life, that's the furnace of fire that we got to go through to become men. See, that's different from women. See, scars on us, that's okay. That's battle scars. That look good on us. It don't look good on women. It looks good on us. It's how we are made. We can't afford to live a soft life. We live the hard life so that our family can live a softer life. And when we have a softer life, we paid for it. If I have a vacation and I'm just feet up, kick back, I paid for that. Through hard work. I can't live my whole life like that. I gotta go and grind. I gotta go make the money. I gotta go stack my chips, as it were. But when I go and relax, I paid for it. That's how it is for men. Let's hit that one more time before we move on. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Thank you, Yah, for giving me the opportunity to grow. Thank you, Yah, for allowing me to become stronger. Give me the opportunity to become stronger, to become a problem solver, to have emotional intelligence and become stoic. Thank you for granting me a certain level of stoicism. Thank you for allowing me to increase my power. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Then Paul said, you know what? I learned how to be content, whether I abase or abound. I'm paraphrasing. Whether I have a lot or whether I have a little. So you can't tell me this is not scripture. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. We'll get back to that, guys. We'll get back to that. We got so much ground to cover. We'll get back to that. Gentlemen, we need, this is, when you get this, this is what it means. This is what we have to do and pass on to our sons. I didn't even start talking about making your name mean something. This is the beginning of your lineage, right? This is how you are being formed. I'll get to your legacy and all that in a minute. I'll get to that. Let's go to Proverbs. We'll get to that. We're going to go to Proverbs 19. I'm going to read a couple of Proverbs as well. We'll be in and out of Proverbs. Proverbs 19 and verse 14. Houses and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. I'm gonna get more into that in protecting your seed. I'm gonna get into that a little bit more in protecting your seed. But look at what house and riches are the inheritance of fathers. This is what we wanted to. This is the inheritance of fathers. We're supposed to be working towards this thing. Everyone's gonna be at like a different level, but this is what we're supposed to be working towards. And in Jeremiah, build ye houses, and have sons and daughters, and give them, give wives and husbands and all that other stuff. We're supposed to be doing this. This is what this is about, brothers and sisters. Let me go back to 13. 13 and 22. What does it say? Because we got to increase our value, right? This is now we're talking about increase your value, right? 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So you're a good man? You working towards that? Oh, Brother Robert, how do I do that? 1, you got to work hard. 2, you need to acquire assets. 3, you can go get insurance. You can get life insurance. You can get term if you're good with your investments, or you can get whole life. Okay, so you can do some estate planning. You can get some whole life so that you can lock up certain things. When you get your whole life, you build up a cash balance. You can borrow against that, things like that. Okay, I'm just saying the things you can do. You need to build your assets. What are you going to do? You're going to be in the real estate category to build your assets. You're going to be in the paper with stocks and bonds and whatnot. You're going to be in precious metals, golds and silvers. You're going to be in cryptocurrency. What are you going to do? Now, I know some people cringe on some of this stuff and they say crypto and all that. I get it. Just relax. You get my point, right? This is how you're going to build this and leave this inheritance. Work on it. Oh, well, I'm not ready. Okay, work on it. One piece at a time. Clear yourself. Pay down debt. This is how you get the inheritance. This is how you can start building that inheritance and increasing your value. This living a paycheck to paycheck is rough, I know. But we cannot be doing this. We cannot do it our whole life. We cannot do it our whole life. We have to have a systematic approach on how we're going to acquire assets. It's something like what Kiyosaki says, liabilities. Say you lose your job. Liabilities will eat you and assets will feed you. So get assets. Buy assets. Build, buy, or acquire. Or become an asset. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 11, chapter 11. Increase your value. That's what we're talking about. Increase your value. 11, 1 through 6. Talk about some investing. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Cast thy bread upon the water, you shall find it many days. Okay, talking about some investing. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8. For thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. So invest, spread it out, go into different asset classes, because depending on what's going on in society, it affects each asset class differently. One asset class could be going down and in the tank, and another asset class could be just going through the moon. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. Okay, so you're all scared and all that. And as thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb, or of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who make it all. Like, you don't know, right? In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thy hand work, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. But basically, you never know what's going to happen, guys. Invest in different ways and in different categories, because you never know what's going to happen. Something good may happen, something bad may happen, but give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon you. You never know what's going to happen. Increase your value. Because if not, you're going to be at the mercy of whatever the government decides. That's scary. Increase your value, gentlemen. Let's go to Matthew. I'm going to go to Matthew 25. And if I have a sense of urgency, well, that's because it's urgent. It's urgent that we understand this information. It's urgent that we get our acts together. Our acts together. Get it together. 25. I'm starting at 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Pause to note. We're talking about investing, right? This master gave them this so they can invest, right? Now we know this parable is talking about the kingdom and all that, and in the end, rulership and all that other stuff. But he that is trusted with faithful with a little will be faithful with a lot. Okay, paraphrasing. 16. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. Sounds like investing, right? And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained another 2. Don't tell me this is not investing. But he that had received 1 went and dug it in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoned with them. Okay, so he came back. And so he that received the 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. So now it's 10. His Lord said unto him, let's see how he felt about it. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Interesting. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. So far, so good, right? What was the Lord's expectation? He expects us to do something with what he gives us. We're not going to debate that, right? We can at least agree with that. Because some people say, the parable, it really means this. It really means... Stop it. Okay? Stop it. We know we know what it's talking about, okay? We know it's a good steward, good faithful, Hebrew, and ruling his own house and leading other people and things like that. And he proves himself. And then in the kingdom, he'll have ruler over 5 cities, 10 cities, 2 cities, all that. Okay, I get that. We know what it really means, but you can still get a lesson. You can still get something, draw something from this, right? He still doesn't use sinful examples to make a point, right? He's not using a sinful example. So we're talking about investing. 24. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid the talent in the earth. Lo, there thou has that is thine. So okay, here's your talent that you gave me. Here you go. His Lord answered and said unto thou wicked and slothful, lazy, right? Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap and where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed, right? You know, I just gave you money. I send my money out to go get work, to bring back some of his friends. That's it. I send $1 out, I want 2 to come back, and so on and so forth. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to an exchanger's, and then at my coming I would have received my own with usury, interest. You should have gave it to the exchanger lend it out, get some interest, bring it back, boom. Double it right there. You could have did something as simple as that. But you didn't do that either. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which has 10 talents. For unto everyone that has shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that has not shall be taken away, even that which he has. Even the little bit he has is going to be taken away because he ain't going to do nothing with it. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. We're going to stop it right there. Unprofitable, good for nothing. Now we understand the spiritual side. But look at slothful, unprofitable. Got to be doing something. So you use a parable of like investing. We work and we make our money work. Gentlemen, you work and put your money to work. You work and put your money to work. Increase your value. You got to be putting something in the asset column. We're going to go back to 1 Kings real quick. Just get a little bit more context. Okay? 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 3, just the first 3 verses. Now the David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth, and be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. Whatever you do. See, we're going to get into this part when it's time to pursue your purpose. So you're going to pick something to do, but then, the foundation, your compass is Yah, Torah, Messiah. This is the Hebrew part of high value Hebrew. I don't care what you're going to drive trucks, you're going to invest in the stock market, you're going to real estate, you're going to be in IT. Well, it doesn't matter. As long as Yah is your compass. As long as he's your true north. Are you understand? Are we getting somewhere here? Comment down below. Put it in the chat, comment down below. Let me know. Or is something is it starting to resonate with you a little bit? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. I hope it's resonating. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. (13). Go read one verse. Stand and show thyself a man, gentlemen. 13 and 11 of 1 Corinthians, it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. It's time to become a man. See, the thing is, we're supposed to, our fathers should be training us on how to be a man. And from this other developmental stage, because we should have certain milestones in our life, and we will talk about that. But 18 to say 30 for males, for men. This is your hustle and your grind and you figuring out what you want to become. You want to figure out what you want to specialize in. You want to figure out what you are going to go hard in. Because that is your first investment. Your first investment is going to be investment in time. I'm going to spend my time in my health, my strength, into getting better or perfecting my craft, getting really good at it, becoming that guy, being him. I want to be him. That's the 18 to 30 right there. After that, you hit your stride. Boom. You're like in expert mode of whatever it is that you decided to do. Whatever that is. You're in expert mode now. We're going to keep going. Go over to 16. Go over to 16. We're going to read 13 and 14. 13 says this. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men, be strong. And let all things be done with charity. Okay? Be strong, let all things be done with charity. With love. Quit you like men. Gentlemen, let me talk to you just for a second. For our son's sake, I want to talk to you just for a second. We should be marking certain milestones for our sons. I wish I'd known this years ago. We should be marking certain milestones for our son. I remember a book. It was Raising a Modern Day Knight, where it celebrates and marks certain milestones in a young man's life. It's kind of like they're young, 5, 6, 7, up to 10, 11, 12 or whatever. They're like a squire, right? They're just a little lad, and then after that, it's like a squire. You're like, 13 to 18 or whatever, you're a squire, and after that, you're like a knight. But here's the thing. Then you want to mark these milestones with ceremony, right? It could be for, let's say, you have a plaque, right? When you turn 12, 13, like a little plaque. So they earn their plaque. Your sons, they earn their plaque. See, we want to raise sons. We want to raise high value Hebrew, right? So you're going to teach them certain things up to about 12, 13, and they earn like a plaque or something like that. You designed that, right? And it would probably have the family crest on it. You have a plaque with a family crest on it. This is where you make your name mean something, gentlemen. And then, like, say on their 18th birthday, they're graduating, high school, about to go to college. They may have something else. You might say, okay, I'll give them something to graduate, college. I mean, maybe, I don't know if high school will be a milestone for you. I don't know if maybe college will be a milestone for you. Not everybody's son's going to go to college, so it could be high school or college. And then after that, it could be a ring with the family crest. Make your name mean something. Then when they protect their seed and they have mate selection and they choose a wife for themselves, you may have another trinket, another gift. So it could be a plaque, then it could be a compass, symbolic. It could be a ring. It could be a necklace. At these various milestones that you set in life. And along the way, because we want to raise men, right? We want to raise masculine men, God-fearing men, right? So when you give them the word of Yah, that's right there. That's a foundation. That's a spiritual compass. You're going to give them that spiritual compass. You're going to teach them the word of Yah. You're going to teach them what thus says the Lord. Because he says, I know the plans I have for you, right? Joshua. So you have that. Now, the other things in life, what are some of the things you want to do? You want to teach them how to hunt. Teach your son how to hunt. Teach your son how to fish. Put him in a martial arts class. A couple of years. Put him in sports a couple of years. That builds their character, stuff like that. A couple of years of sports, a couple of years of martial arts. Teach them how to play chess. Gotta have mental sport. All these things along the way to forge your son in adversity before life gets them. See, you need to be raising your sons to be beasts. If you know anything about martial arts, then you know, oh, they teach them to be monsters and how to control it. Better, I don't know if you guys heard the saying, but better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Teach them how to box. A little MMA. You're trying to raise a man because it's a hyper competitive world. Hyper competitive. You're trying to raise capable men, capable sons. Yah-fearing men, boys becoming men. That's what we're trying to do. That's our mission, right? And with that, the plaque and the family crest, because we want our name to mean something. Do we not have like, oh, David, son of Jesse, Solomon, son of David? Oh, I'm Jacob, I'm the son of Isaac, I'm the son of Abraham, our father Abraham. All that their name, so that their name carries on through history. You want your name to mean something. Protect your name. Oh, well, my father, he did. Okay, then it starts with you. Oh, my father wasn't great. Okay, fine. One thing positive about your father, and then start from there. Was he a hard worker? Did he have some kind of anything? I didn't grow up in my entire life with my father either. Not the entire time. But I asked my mother a couple things about my father, found out a couple things. Guess what? I'll cling on to that, right? Because then now I can pass that on. Bring honor. You bring honor to your bloodline. You bring honor to your bloodline. You bring it, and then be that example, and then your sons can bring it and continue. You do it. You don't have to be the best at everything. You can just be a great father. Be a great man first. Show thyself a man first, then be a great father, and then you can tell them, they can stand on, your sons, they can stand on some principles, your daughters as well, they can stand on some principles. They say, this is what it means to be, insert your last name. I'm a Reed, I'm a Smith, I'm a Williams, I'm a whatever. This is what it means to be a fill in the blank. What's your last name? What's your surname? You have to give meaning. Gentlemen, it's going to be up to us. You're going to have to give meaning to your surname, to your bloodline. This is your legacy that we're talking about. Your children, that's your legacy. But what are you leaving behind? So this is what I'm saying. So you put these things, when you get it into yourself, and then you put these things together. You line things out for your sons. You say, you know what? They can learn some fishing, some hunting, some boxing, or some martial arts to learn how to play chess. They don't have to be great. They don't have to be awesome. They can learn the rules, play a couple of games, get a good understanding. You never know what happens. Get them into some sports. And they can be in certain year increments. See what takes off, but so that they can just have an understanding to get it in them. You're preparing them. This is how men are made. They come of age, they start a business or work a job, something when they come of age. Let them earn it. Let them work. Let them do chores. Let them get outside. I heard of one guy, he just said, you know what? This guy was very, very wealthy. However, he don't just give his children money. He has a library in his home. He said, the currency in my home is learning. You read this book, give me a book report, you earn money. He put an amount on it and all that. The books way up there, those are worth more. Why? Because they get two things. They get to learn what's in those books, and they get money. And they learn that they have to earn. So I'm getting paid to be, your child's getting paid to be smarter. This is your legacy we're talking about, gentlemen. Let's go to Micah. Let's go to Micah. What kind of young men do you want to raise, gentlemen? It's your legacy. It's totally up to you. How do you want to do this? Micah 6. And I want to read one verse. 8. He has showed me, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. This is what we need to do, gentlemen. That's what we need to do. I'm never going to tell you to step away from God. I'm trying to tell you that the Most High wants you to maximize your potential as men. I'm telling you that the Most High wants us to stand and show ourselves men. I'm telling you that the Bible, the scriptures, is patriarchal. Let's go over to the Psalms. Psalms 128, verse 2. For thou shalt eat the labor of thy hands. For thou shalt eat the labor of thy hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. The labor of your hands, because you are putting your hand to the plow, because you are working hard. You are busting your hump. And you'll be happy. And I don't mean you just have to work hard like some beast of burden or a pack mule. If you want to do that, nothing wrong with that. But you can also work smart. Or you can do both. But this is how we are made as men. This is how we are forged. So we're forged. So we're not going to look down on our fellow man. We're not going to look down on the plumber. We're not going to look down on the oil rig worker. We're not going to look down at the guys working at the airport slinging the luggage. I really wish you guys wouldn't sling it like that. Take better care of that. Y'all busted up my luggage. You busted up my luggage my last trip. But anyway, we're not going to look down on them. We're not going to. The guys on skyscrapers building these. However you get it, however you make it. This is how we're made. This is how we are forged. We are creatures of production. Produce. This is our duty. I'm going to go to Psalms. I'm in Psalms, but I'm going to go to chapter 1 in Psalms. First 6 verses. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaves also shall not wither, or whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Whatsoever you do it. He's not telling you the occupation that you see. That's the thing. That's why we have a section with pursue your purpose. He's not telling you exactly what occupation you need to pick. Doesn't matter. Just produce. Pick one. Pick your sweet spot, what you're good at. And do it. Be the man. Be the guy. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. We're gonna get to the pursue your purpose part, but it kind of alludes to some of that. The Bible doesn't speak. Okay, you should be this, you should be that, as far as your occupation, as far as how you're gonna get it. But it says dedicate yourself to the Lord, or whatever you do, dedicate it to the Lord. As if you're doing it unto a Mashiach. You have to become him in whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're an Uber driver. Be good. Be him. Be that guy. Be one of the best. Maximize the potential. He gave you the vessel. He gave you the talents. Are you going to increase what he has given you? Let's go to the Proverbs. Go to 22. 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings. See, now we're getting into the pursue your purpose, right? This is kind of, both, increase your value, pursue your purpose. Let's do it again. Seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. He shall, see, when you're diligent in your business, when you make yourself an asset, when you become that guy, more opportunities, you will stand in front of important people. Look, guys, listen, okay. When someone is like really, really, really good, let's say, for example, let's look at a couple things. We look at, say, for example, motivational speakers or something like that, right? A lot of them, they've like accomplished something. They built businesses or accomplished something, and they stand before rulers and stuff. Look at a person like a Tony Robbins, right? Stand before and counsel with world leaders because he's good at what he does. I mean, there's other guys. You had your Zig Ziglars, you had your Les Browns. I can go on and on and on and on. And what they have stood on stages and stood in front of important people, Fortune 500 company CEOs, millionaires and billionaires, politicians and prime ministers. They have stood before because they became that dude. I'm not saying you got to do that, but what I'm just saying is that when you maximize who you are, these opportunities seems to find you. So don't go with, oh, well, he's doing the whole name and claim it, be written. No. I'm just saying maximize who you are. The outcome for you may not be that. You may not be standing across stages or whatever, but I'm speaking to those who may have that type of ambition. You have to become that dude. You have to be really, really good at what you do. We're in an age where people's, you have to get status and stuff to make it in this world. But see, here's the thing. Before people think that, oh, well, having money, status, and all that's evil and all that. No. Actually, it's going to give you a little bit more freedom and a little bit more access. Don't like America, it's going to force you to get out of here. You don't want to leave America, it's going to afford you to be able to live off grid if you want. Not to hide. I'm not saying, not to hide. I'm talking about how to live comfortably. I'm not talking about, being a gray man. I'm not talking about being off the grid so nobody, you could do that if that's what you want, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what it says, money answers all things. With resources, you can kind of get some stuff done. Let's drop down to 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is the servant to the lender. So you want to be poor? You want to struggle? What do you want to do? It's up to you. Proverbs 22, and that was verse 7. And then he said that he gave us power. We're supposed to have power. We read all his definition of what power is. See, this depends on how you want to navigate in this world. How do you want to get along in this world? How do you want to do it, right? How's this going to go for you? Right? Let me go ahead and give you a couple of more, and then we'll do the other lesson on pursuing your purpose. Let's give you a couple of more. Proverbs. Word Proverbs. Let's go to 16 and 9. 16, verse 9. A man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directeth his. You can, whatever it is you want to do, we're getting into pursue your purpose, guys. We did increase your value. I've talked about that, increase your value. We're talking a little bit about your legacy and stuff like that, inheritance and all that. We talked about that. Now we're talking about pursue your purpose. We're getting into that. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is. But the Lord guides your way. I told you earlier. The Most High, these scriptures, this Torah, all this is your compass. This is your compass. You figure out what it is, what you want to do. You figure it out. Long as you stay tethered to the Most High, you'll be fine. You figure out what it is you want to do. Okay? You just keep it right there. Now I'm gonna go to my last place, and then we're gonna go ahead and close out this part, and we're gonna get into the next part. Okay? This is we're at 16 now. We're gonna go to Psalm. Let's go back to the Psalm. We're going to Psalm 119. Okay? Psalm 119 and verse early on, 9 through 6. 119, 9 through 16. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereunto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee, O let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord. Teach me thy statutes. With my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies as much as in all riches. And I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word. Always having this, gentlemen, as a compass. Always having this as a compass. Now, this has been the first lesson in the High Value Hebrew series. Before we close out, please like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Smash the notification bell. Put your comments down below. I hope somebody's been edified by this lesson so far. Watch the other parts as well coming up. So until next time, search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel.